This is a part 1 video of how to make your DIY PVC catapult. This video gives you the details for building the initial frame of the catapult, and a part 2 video will be added to show you how to do the release mechanism. You will need the following pieces of PVC. 2 11-inch pieces of 1-inch PVC marked A, 2 12.5-inch pieces of 1-inch PVC marked B, 2 12-inch pieces of 1-inch PVC marked C, 3 18-inch pieces of 1-inch PVC marked D, 2 14.5-inch pieces of 1-inch PVC marked E, 1 17.5-inch piece of 3/4-inch PVC marked F, and 1 30.5-inch piece of 1-inch PVC marked G. For connecting pieces, you will need 6 1-inch 90-degree elbows, 2 1-inch to 3/4-inch reducer tees, and 3 1-inch tees. You will need the following supplies: PVC cutters, scissors, a Sharpie, tape measure, duct tape, a drill with a drill bit, screw eyes, elastic cord, and some sort of scoop or container to launch out of. To start, you will need your 2 11-inch pieces marked A and your 1 18-inch piece marked D. You will also need 2 90-degree elbows. First, place one 90-degree elbow on the end of each 11-inch piece. Next, place the 90-degree elbows on each end of the 18-inch piece. Next, take your 2 12.5-inch pieces marked C, your second 18-inch piece marked D, and 2 90-degree elbows. Place one 90-degree elbow on the end of each 12.5-inch piece. Next, place the 90-degree elbows on each end of the 18-inch piece. These two pieces will form the outer parts of your base. Next, you will need your 2 reducer tees, your 3/4-inch piece marked F, and 1 1-inch tee. Place the 1-inch tee onto the 3/4-inch piece of PVC. This piece should rotate freely around it. Then take your reducer tees and attach them onto the ends of your 11-inch letter A pieces. The 3/4-inch hole of the reducer tee should be facing into the center of the base. Next, attach the 3/4-inch piece marked F into the 3/4-inch opening of the reducer tees. Next, you will need your 2 14.5-inch pieces marked E, your last 18-inch piece marked D, your last 2 1-inch tees, and 2 90-degree elbows. Attach your 1-inch tees onto the ends of the 12-inch pieces marked C. Make sure the single hole is facing upward. Take your 14.5-inch pieces marked E and insert them into the upright facing holes of the 1-inch tees. Place your 90-degree elbows onto the ends of your E pieces with the open hole facing inward. Next, take your 18-inch D piece and insert it into the open ends of the elbows. Next, you will need your 2 12.5-inch pieces marked B. Insert these 2 pieces into the open ends of your reducer tees and 1-inch tees to connect both ends of the base. You may need to push down on your PVC pieces to make sure they are fully inserted and adjusted evenly. Now you will need your long 30.5-inch piece marked G. You will also need your scoop and duct tape, or if you're not using a scoop, you will need whatever method you are using to attach your container to the PVC lever. If you'd like, you can attach your piece marked G into the freely rotating 1-inch tee. You can also wait to do this. Take your duct tape and pull off a few pieces. Place your scoop on the end of your G piece and duct tape it onto the PVC. Next, take your tape measure and measure in 3 inches from your 90-degree elbows and mark a spot with your Sharpie. This is where your screw eyes will go. Your marks for the screw eyes should be about 11 inches apart. Take your drill and drill a small hole into your marks. Insert your screw eyes and turn them until tight. You may need to grab a pliers to help tighten them. I had to run and grab one. Make sure your screw eyes are vertical to the PVC and not horizontal. Next, take your tape measure and measure about 8 inches down from the end of your letter G lever arm. Use your Sharpie to mark a spot on the back side of your lever arm. Take your drill and drill a small hole into your mark. Insert a screw eye and turn it until tight. Make sure this screw is parallel to the PVC. If it's not already, insert your G lever arm into the rotating 1-inch T. Make sure your screw eyes on the crossbar are facing downward, so if needed, rotate your crossbar to turn them down. Next, you'll take your elastic cord and thread it through each of the screw eyes. Tie it onto one of the crossbar screw eyes first. Then you will thread it through the screw eye on the back side of your G lever arm. Then thread it through and tie it to the last screw eye on the crossbar. You can adjust the elastic cord as you desire, but this is what the overall frame should look like for part 1 of your build. From here, you can add your own release mechanism or stay tuned for a second video on how to add a release mechanism like we built.